last night I knit the collar on this, and I was about halfway through knitting it when I realized that I was supposed to go down a needle size, and I did not, and I opted to continue, and I don't like it. I think it is a little wavy, doesn't look quite right, so I do need to rip that collar out and reknit it on a smaller size needle. My name is Michelle, and this is Michelle's Fiber Studio podcast. Today is Monday, July 13th, and this is episode number 100. Wow. Happy 100. I have a whole segment that I am going to really kind of dive in, but I just can't even believe that it's been 100 episodes. Thank you so much for all of you who continue to watch. I know I don't have a very strong following, but that is okay. I enjoy doing this, and for those of you who do watch, I do appreciate you. It is a beautiful sunny day today, about the mid-80s, gorgeous. I've got my windows open, so you may hear some background noise. I also want to mention we are dog sitting, so we have an extra dog in the house. Hopefully they are going to behave and it won't be a problem. They've been doing pretty good. He arrived on Friday, so he's had a few days now to settle in, and they've been pretty good today, but you never know. Where my friends live is much quieter than my busy street, so there's a lot of different road noises and things that happen. So, and you all know, right? Or those of you who have dogs know that when one starts barking, it gets the others going. So we'll see. Hopefully this will work. At any rate, I have a lot to share today. I have a finished object. I have a new project that I've started, project updates, all the things. But I am wearing knitting. I changed specifically so I would have a knit item on for this episode. This is my Bay Day tank, which I made last summer. It's got a little, you can't really see it, the hem rolls. I haven't tried blocking it again, but it does have a little bit of a arc or whatever in the hem. And I knit this last summer again out of Hedgehog Fiber Sock Minis. They were a set of minis that I got from a friend of mine as a gift. And they were a total of 10 different 20-gram minis. I used 8 of the 10 colors kind of fading in, and I'm actually really pleased with it. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with those minis when I acquired them because they're not really my colors, but I do think it's made a fun tank top. So that is what I'm wearing. So without further ado, how about we take a look at what I have finished this week. I'm very excited about this week's finished project. I have finished my blue striped socks. Hopefully those colors are coming out nicely. I absolutely love them. I am thrilled beyond that this came out exactly the way I had in mind when I had these leftover colors. So this is yarn. I do have my tags. I've thrown all of my little leftovers here into a little, actually I think it's an old cosmetic bag, and it's getting very ratty. I probably need to get rid of it, but it was what was nearby when I was collecting these. So the yarn is from Dirty Water Dye Works, and it is her Lillian base. This is a gradient bundle, and then I also did March Sky is the color that I did on the toes and the cuffs, and in between on the stripes I supplemented it with a Miss Babs color that I had because I didn't think I was going to have enough. And I'm really glad that I did that because I would not have had enough if I had tried to do the heels in that March Sky as well. So originally, this is yarn that I got, oh goodness, back in 2016 or 17, like quite some time ago. And then a couple of years ago, I finally knit a shawl with it. I knit Islands in the Stream. I'll pop a picture in here so you can see this project. I loved the combination, the colors, loved how it came out, but the shawl, and the shawl is beautiful. I love the shawl, but it didn't use as much of the yarn as I had hoped, and I had a significant amount of yarn left. And so I was thinking from the get, I'm like, you know, these would make a really great pair of socks. I think I will stripe them. And as soon as I finished the shawl, I actually designed out and figured out how many stripes I could get. I knew I had plenty of yarn, so I wasn't concerned, at least for the blues. I wasn't concerned about running out of yarn for the stripes, but I planned it out to make it work so they would all fit nice and neatly and evenly into the socks. So, and then it sat. And that was when I sat down to make some goals this past winter for what I kind of really wanted to work on this year, this calendar year. These blue striped socks were one of the ones, because it is actually, the project page has actually been sitting in Ravelry for the last 2 years, and I was kind of tired of looking at it, and I wanted to get it off of my mental radar, even though it wasn't technically a whip because I didn't start it. So, and anyway, I'm really, really thrilled to get these off of the needles. They took me just about a month. I cast them on June 13th. I finished them on July 10th, but kind of like anything, I tend to start projects and then they don't always get a lot of focus right away, but then when I actually shift my focus to it, I can pump things out really quickly, because I think I had just barely started the first sock. Had I started? Yeah, I had started the first sock in last podcast, right? And so I did an entire sock in 1 week. So it took me 3 weeks to do one sock and 1 week to do the second sock. So this is what I have left of these colors. They are just going to, at this point, go into my scrap bin. So those are the 5 colors. For some reason, I have significantly less of this darkest color, and I'm not sure why, because I feel like they all started with a similar amount when I started the socks, but whatever, that's what I have left. And then the March Sky colorway, I have this little teeny tiny ball. I pretty much used it all up. I was mildly nervous I wouldn't be able to finish the toe, but I was pretty sure. It was not so close that I was worried, but as I was finishing that second sock and I was on the foot and I was throwing the stripes in there, I'm like, it's gonna be close. So it's a good thing that I didn't try to do any heels, because I definitely would have run out. So I think that is everything that I wanted to talk about with these socks. So how about we go look at the projects that are in my project bag this week. Since I just talked about socks, how about we keep right on the sock train, because I have a new pair on the needles. This is Sock Week. It is a knit along that is run by Nitty Natty of Love and Stitches podcast. And she's been doing this, gosh, I think for 7 or 8 years now. And originally it was designed to coordinate with Shark Week. I'm not into shark movies, but apparently that's a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing, but Sock Week is definitely something that she has continued to do. And the challenge is to knit one sock, a full sock, in a week. And so I wanted to hurry up and finish those blue striped socks so that I could start a new pair of socks and have a sock to work on for Sock Week. So this is what I have got. The yarn is this beautiful cake right here. And it is Lane de Nord, which apparently was made in Italy. It is their paint gradient sock. It is color number, whatever color number it is. And I picked this up from the yarn shop in Waterville when we were up there at the beginning of June. And when I was thinking about what yarn I wanted to use, I decided to cast this on right away so it wouldn't linger and hang out in my stash. So it is supposed to stripe and create this, can you see in the tag there, this striping effect. I am really not sure how that's going to play out. I don't know, I can't tell by looking at it like, when I go to start the second sock, am I supposed to be digging around in the middle for the other end or a repeat? And if so, how do I know where the beginning of that repeat actually is? I really don't know. I just decided I'm diving in. I did a little bit of Google searching. I couldn't find any information from other people who had worked with this yarn, so I just decided to dive in. We'll see what's gonna happen. So I cast these on yesterday, sock week. The challenge, again, is to knit at least one sock from July 12th through the 19th, Sunday to Sunday. So that would be the 19th, right? So it started yesterday. So yesterday I cast on my cuff. I am about maybe a quarter of the way down the leg. Natalie has put out a kind of a breakdown of the best way to break down knitting the sock if you want to accomplish a full sock in a week and you need kind of something to keep you on track. So day 1, you knit the cuff. Days 2 and 3, you knit the leg. Day 4 is for the heel. Days 5 and 6 are for the foot. Day 7 is for the toe, and that leaves day 8 as wiggle room. So I think if I kind of keep moving forward, I should be able to do this easily. Obviously, you guys have seen me knit an entire pair of socks when I have been on vacation in New York City. So I really don't think I'm going to have any challenge knitting this pair of sock, or this single sock, but I don't want this to be the only project that I'm working on. As you'll see, I've got several other projects that I have going on, and I have some goals around those. So this is kind of going to be a on the side project. So I'm actually going to stick fairly close to that plan. I would like to knit the second sock, not necessarily this week, but by the end of next week, because we are going to be leaving to go to New York City on vacation, and I want to start another new pair of socks on vacation, and I really would prefer to have this one done by then. If it is, it is. It isn't. If it isn't, it isn't. It'll get done probably pretty quickly, because I'm sure if I keep kind of pushing towards that, it'll be fairly close to being done. So I just threw it right back in the same project bag that I used for my blue striped socks. This is from Wool & Women Fibers. It was the January project bag, and it is kind of a wintry project bag, but I thought it matched the yarn and the blues, and so I'm still using it. All right, that is project number 1. How about I grab this one because it is closest. Project number 2 is my Squishy Teal Scarf, as I am calling it, or shawl. It's really more of a shawl, I suppose. And this is where I am at with this one. So I was right here last week, and I knit a whole nother ball of yarn. So there are 5 total balls of yarn. This is one that I seem to be working in chunks, and I spent on Saturday, I think it was about 2.5 to 3 hours knitting on this, and I did an entire ball. So this was a whim cast on. It was not at all on my radar. I think I talked about that last week. The yarn that I am using is from, I don't know who I think I did this last week too, but Zara Plus Color. I don't know who the manufacturer is, but Zara, I feel like, is the color line, and it is a color number shade. So yeah, teal. Filatura is apparently the brand. So I have 5 balls of this that I picked up. Another one that I picked up in like 2016 or 17. I don't know. And I got to be in my bonnet to cast this on. I am basing it off of the Riley Rose Shawl by Jennifer Lassonde, but it's my own pattern on the inside. I saw another scarf that I'm kind of taking as inspiration, but I am doing 4 stockinette rows followed by a garter ridge, 4 stockinette rows, a garter ridge all the way. I think at this point I've done 2 balls. I have 5, remember. So I think at this point, this 3rd ball, I am going to knit straight without increasing. And then when I get to the last two balls, those will be my decrease balls. So it will kind of come in and then have a straight section. So that's that. There's no particular deadline, no particular urgency. When I get a whim to work on it, I do, and we'll see when it's done. But that is that. These are the balls that I have still left. All right, that is number 3. No, number 2. Number 3 is, oops, I lost it. My Avenue Tea. And I picked up some dog hairs. I dropped it on the floor next to me. This is, again, the Avenue Tea by Tori Yu. And last week when I was working on it, oh my goodness, I guess I need a vacuum. Well, on the back you can see where I was at. My stitch marker is right here. I think I need to move it to the front. So I was close to being able to split off, which I have since done. I knit the collar last night, although I will come back to that. And I am about halfway done one of the sleeves. So let me talk about the yarn and then I will circle back in. This yarn is Bigfoot Yarn Company. Here's my skein. Bigfoot Yarn Company. It is their Wendigo sock in Dolores colorway. This is also yarn that I picked up at that yarn shop in Waterville. So I'm actually feeling really good. I'm 2 for 2 now, right? And I'm pretty sure that was the only yarn that I bought at that yarn shop. I did also buy yarn, because that was Fiber Frolic Day, and I did also buy yarn from a couple of the vendors that day, but I'm feeling really good that 2 of the projects I'm working on, I cast on within a month of buying the yarn. So, yeah, so last night I knit the collar on this, and I was about halfway through knitting it when I realized that I was supposed to go down a needle size, and I did not, and I opted to continue, and I don't like it. I think it is a little wavy, doesn't look quite right, so I do need to rip that collar out and reknit it on a smaller size needle, and I am waiting to do that until I pull the needle out, because I will use it when I do the ribbing on this sleeve as well. But I am liking how this is knitting up. I bought the yarn specifically with the plan of knitting a t-shirt, and I'm really, really happy with how this is looking. I love the way the colors are playing. I think it's going to be a super fun one to wear. I'm kind of hoping to have this one done before I go to New York in a week and a half. It's going to be tight with some of the other things that I also want to get done, but it would be super cool to have this to wear, although I also think it's going to be really hot in the city, so I might not want to wear a knitted t-shirt in the city, even though it's a t-shirt. It is still warmer, I have found, than a cotton shirt when it's like above 90 degrees. So we'll see, but I'm having a great time with this and liking these colors. The last knitted project or yarn project that I will talk about today is my blanket that I am knitting for my best friend's daughter. I had to go back and look on last week's podcast because I had forgotten to put a marker in, but I was, if I am seeing correctly, all the way down here. So I got 3 sections done this past week. They are on vacation this week, and I will see them a week from Wednesday, so in 9 days, at their house. So I'm really hoping to have this done by then so I can give it to my friend's little girl. And again, it will be a project that is done before I go on vacation, and that would be amazing. But we'll see. So I have just today finished, this is the first color again, so I'm restarting my repeats now, but super, super happy with it. I didn't tell you what the pattern is, did I? It is the Level Up Crochet Advent Blanket by Lucienne Crochet, and I am using the Baby Bee Sweet Delight in Shamrock and Roll, Baby Sage, Green Light, Springtime Chateau, and Give Me the Moon. So 5 different colors. And what is different in this level up version is that she squares off the bottom instead of it being a ripple the whole time, and it will have a border. So I'm happy. I'm actually really loving, I bought the DK weight version, right? I'm pretty sure this is the DK weight because I have the fingering weight version of the original pattern. And so I bought the DK weight level up version, and I figured that way I'll have the numbers for both DK and fingering, and then I will have the instructions for both styles as well. Although I honestly don't think I'm gonna go back to the plain one because I'm really liking how it is squared off and has that border. So that is this project. I think the last thing I will quickly show you, I'm gonna kind of unbury it. I did spend some time last week, working on the cross stitch project for my daughter, which is why I didn't get quite as much knitting done as maybe I would have, because one of the days I pretty much devoted to the cross stitch. But I did a lot, not quite finished, but my son-in-law's hair. So their heads are almost done at this point. I have to figure out how I'm gonna outline. And I do need to go back. I'm really not happy. Can you see the blue? Yeah, if I hold it right up for you, there's blue in my daughter's head. And that is because the original picture that we were using was taken in bright sunlight. And so there was a lot of highlighting done by the sun in the photo. And when I put that photo into the cross stitch program, it interpreted those highlights as blues, and so it did it a lot. And there is some blue in the black. Of course, my son-in-law's hair is black, and I deepened up the blues. It was going to be actually brighter, and I like shifted everything up a notch. So I don't mind the blues that are in his head so much, and grays, but I definitely don't like the lighter blue that is in her head. So I got to rip that out and figure out what I'm going to do. But that is the creative pursuits that I have gotten done this week. So this is my 100th episode, and I kind of thought about what I would do, and I decided to just kind of have a little bit of a reflecting segment. It's a milestone to hit 100. That is such a big number, and when I first started this podcast, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. I didn't know if I was going to continue it. And I found that I really, really enjoy it. I have a very small following. For whatever reason, the YouTube algorithms haven't picked it up or pushed it out or whatever. But I don't care. I talk to you. Whoever is listening, there could be 2 or there could be 2,000, and I'm talking to you the same way. But I'm just really enjoying talking about my projects and sharing them. And I'm really enjoying the editing process and the filming process and the whole thing. Like, I really, really do enjoy every week sitting down, or most every week sitting down in front of the camera and just talking about what I have worked on. It is giving me encouragement to push forward on some projects sometimes, or to get just a little bit more done, or to finish this today so that way I can talk about it tomorrow, or to get to this point in the project before I podcast. So like, it really is kind of giving me an incentive to continue going, where sometimes I might be tempted to just kind of blow things off, which is also fine, right? Don't get me wrong. Knitting is a hobby. Knitting is supposed to be fun. And I don't feel pressure, but I do feel that encouragement. So that's been really fun and really, really cool. I recorded my first episode on April 10th of 2024, and it was posted on April the 15th. I didn't actually turn the channel on. I believe it was May 1st. I had to kind of go do some digging and see when I shared a Facebook post about it, but I'm pretty sure May 1st is, and that's a nice clean date, so that's kind of ringing a bell in my head. I do recall that I wanted to have a few different episodes on the channel before I actually turned it and made the channel live and published the channel. so that there would be something more than just one episode for people to view. And so that was, yeah, so it has been just over 2 years, and I have done 100 episodes, which I have pretty faithfully, pretty much done 1 episode a week. So for the most part, not quite. There's been definitely, I've taken some time off around the holidays. I've taken some time off for vacations or for whatever reason. So that would be where those extra 10 weeks, right, comes from. But at any rate, I took a look. I pulled up Ravelry, so it's been basically 2 years. And I thought it would be fun to kind of get a little roundup of the projects that I have talked about over the last 2 years. I have completed 72 different projects in 2 years, or just over 2 years, right? That's so wild. I can't even believe that. I have done 16 shawls or cowls, 8 sweaters or tops, 12 pairs of socks, 7 blankets, excuse me, and those 7 blankets actually are since last August. I can't believe I completed 7 blankets since last August. That is wild. That is really wild. That floored me. And then 29 other projects, hats, cozies, toys, like, you know, a bunch of different things. Kind of fell into that other category. So I thought I would select 3 of my favorite projects that I have completed in the last 3 years, or 2 years rather, the last 100 episodes. The first one, hands down, it was such an easy call, is my Skyline tee by Tori Yu. I knit this last summer, spring, summer of 2025, and the yarn was Yarn Over New York, I believe. It's yarn that I got in New York, and I finished it just before I went to visit my daughter. Brought it with me to the city and wore it. But every time I wear that, I get so many compliments. It was just a perfect combination of pattern and yarn. It's so bright and so happy and so fun, and I love it. It's definitely one of my favorites, for sure. The second favorite project that I chose in that time frame is the Long Line Cardigan by Joji Locatelli. This one I knit in the fall and winter of 24 and 25 into 2025. So it would have been that first year that I was podcasting within that time frame. Hang on, I need a drink. So yeah, that Long Line Cardigan was one that I knit in that first year of podcasting. It was a slog. It took a long time, but it is a beautiful cardigan. I love the fit. I love the yarn that I used. It's beautiful gray. It's just classic. It complements everything and is easy to wear, and it is one that I go to again and again and again over the winter time and wear to school. Like, it's a great school cardigan. So that is definitely another one of my favorites. My last favorite is a more recent finish, and this is my Imagination Quilt by Nima Makes. I made this, started it at Christmas time with my Advent from Emma's Yarns. And it is a crochet pattern, and it is those little squares. Well, I've shown a picture at this point, so you have seen it. But this just was so much fun to do, and from start to finish, I really enjoyed the entire process and love the result. It is displayed upstairs on my trunk, and I'm so happy with how it came out, and definitely is another one of my favorite projects. So, what is the next 100 episodes going to bring? I don't know. It'll be, what, 4.5 years, almost 5 years at that point by the time I hit that number, but we'll see. Whatever it is, I'm along for the ride. I'm enjoying this process, and I thank you so much for coming along with me. My final section is my day-to-day. I have gotten the notification that my Wool and Woman Fibers box has shipped, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I don't have anything new to share. Hopefully next week that will have arrived and I can show that off. This is going to be kind of brief because I had a boring week, and boring right now is very good. It's exactly what I need as it is the summertime. I am very much enjoying my time. I am having slow mornings and lots of time for knitting. I'm getting a few little projects done around the house here and there, so that has been really good. Let's see. Oh, my black raspberries are ripe. I was able to go out yesterday, actually, and I picked a really large bowl full. So this is peak week this week. I'll be going out every couple of days and stripping off the berries and the bushes and trying to get them as clean as I can. Whatever I can't eat, I freeze, and then I use them all year long in my oatmeal. So I'm happy to have more berries. That's kind of a bright little spot. We've also begun rehearsals for the next show that I'm going to be in this fall. It's Best of Broadway. It's another Broadway-based. Best of Broadway 2, because we did a Best of Broadway 2 years ago. So I have a solo in that show. I am in 3 group numbers, plus I've got another piece that I am doing some set movement on stage, like as part of the number. So I guess I'm kind of in 4 numbers that way. But those rehearsals began last week, and it's going to be a great show. It's going to be, it's nice this year. We've got the 3 group numbers, and only one of them has any major choreography, and he gave us a choice. Those of us who are not great at dancing could kind of go towards the back, and so what we're doing is very easy and is not even scripted, and so I am all in for that. The other 2 songs are going to be real basic. We're pretty much not moving a whole lot, so I'm actually really excited because that's kind of, even though it's fun to learn those dance moves, I'm not a dancer. I can sing. I cannot dance at all. It's really sad. I don't know. My brain does not function that way. And I can do it with a lot of practice. And I wasn't sure I wanted to do the show because I didn't know if I wanted to put that much effort into it. But it seems like it's going to be a pretty laid back and easy show to do. So that should be good. I think that is pretty well it. Yeah, pretty much it. So I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. Happy 100th anniversary again. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please hit the like button, please subscribe, please comment, and please share it. Maybe we can start to get some of my numbers up. It would be lovely to have a little bit more engagement or a few more viewers than I'm getting, but you know what? That's okay. I'm still doing it and still enjoying it. So I will have links down below in the show notes for all of the things that I have talked about. And you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Knittin' Michelle, KNITTINMICHELLE. You could also send me an email at michellesfiberstudio@gmail.com. I am always open to suggestions too. If there's a particular thing, if you are a regular viewer and there's something that you would like me to talk about or to include in the podcast, I'm open to suggestions. So please feel free to send those my way, and we'll see. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer questions. But I need questions to answer. So I think with that, I hope you have a fantastic week and happy knitting.